You know, obviously Neil Peart from Rush was a big, you know, influence, and then John Bonham, I got turned on to him, you know, Led Zeppelin, and then later on I discovered the band Toto, which was all session musicians, so Jeff Beccaro became kind of my go-to drummer for, you know, stylistically he could play anything, and so he was a big influence, yeah.
Man, endless. Usually guitar players, but lately it's been a lot of singer, guitar players. I love listening to James Taylor play along while he's singing, so my heroes are the LA session guys, Larry Carlton, Lee Ritenour, Steve Kahn. There's a bunch of them that did all these really important albums, and some of the same guys played on a million hit songs. You just don't know about them. Steve Lukather, he's a guy from Toto. And he was on a lot of the Tubes and a lot of really big songs.
Then a family member introduced me to a teacher, Bob Allen, who was with the Union, and he was not really a piano teacher. He played clarinet, but he introduced me to a little bit more passionate playing.
I grew up listening to Chum FM in Toronto and going to sleep with that every night, and they played everything. They didn't play opera or classical, but they played folk, rock, some jazz, but lots of different kinds of genres. So I just got a head full of everything from, you know, all the stuff we love, James Taylor to Elton John to Led Zeppelin to whatever. So I've been pretty eclectic with that. I would say my brother was an influence because he's older than me and he picked up the guitar, you know, earlier than me. And my grandfather was a musician, professional musician, sideman, and toured all over Europe, and with my father and my uncle in tow, actually, for years. Yeah, so he was, although I never met him, he passed before I was born, but his legacy, that was kind of informed me a lot with things.
So Beth, Ray Charles, I listen to all the time. And you know, I've been listening to a lot of Motown lately, and I'm super into like Sam and Dave. I'm huge into Otis Redding. It kind of changes for me all the time, so I'm just in that phase right now. Next week it'll be AC/DC. For me, it's just anything that has soul. You know, when I was 13, I met this wonderful lady named Irma McPherson, and I know I'm just gonna cry. Irma was this lady I met at a talent competition when I was 13. It was called the Country Vocal Spotlight in Edmonton. It was the first musical thing I ever did. And she was chairing the competition, and I won this competition, and eventually I started going on the road with her, and then she became my manager for 10 years, and we've been through a lot together. She's like my second mom. She's taught me so much just about life in general, and you know, being okay with who I am as a person and an artist, and you know, so she's been a big influence on me.
Most recent one I would think is a fellow named Bobby Wood in Nashville who played with Elvis and everybody, and he ushered me into that town and let me produce an album and watched over me in front of those people that I was very intimidated by, but that was the start of my production career back in the early 90s. And Bobby Wood was very instrumental in it. Also, my high school music teacher, Roger Farr, who I got to see on a Huron Carole one time in St. Catharines. And just his reaction that I actually went and made a living at music was worth everything to me. And because he bestowed upon me the award for the Music Student of the Year in that Toronto school. And so I got this award, and it was from him, and so he was real happy to see that, I guess, that he gave it out to somebody who went on to do this. So he's another very instrumental one.
We always had friends and family over, You know, we always had a house full, you know, so that was great. We also played music, so there was lots of music in the house. There was always people with guitars or, you know, bongo, spoons, you know, people, you know, and all kinds of different music, you know, kinds of music.
So when we have Christmas dinner now, it's my 2 children and their husbands, and Linda and I, and Christian and Shannon, who have been on this tour very, very many times, and also our friends Matthew and Carrie Atkins. So that's our little new circle that we all look forward to getting together at Christmas. And it's because we've usually come off this tour at Christmas time, and then we get together and it's nothing to do with what's the next song.
We do also, you know, not only with you guys, but on our own, have taken into going out and finding a way to help others, volunteering, maybe doing something where they can experience a little bit of music just to lift their spirits. So, you know, it was introduced to us from you, but we've sort of carried that on in our own world.
We always had tons of family around when I was a kid, lots of presents, and we always had music going on, and big feasts. I still remember that. And you know, one of the things for me that like makes Christmas so special is just remembering my dad. He was dealing with alcohol and drugs, and he really went down, and it took me into my 20s to really want to get to know him better. And we eventually, my sister and I actually went to see him one Christmas, the Christmas before he passed. And we brought him a big box full of clothes and food and all sorts of things that could get him through for the next little while. And it was such a heartwarming thing to see him open up. I have this little video on my phone of him opening up all these gifts, and he was like he was a kid again. He was so shocked that we did this for him. And I'll never forget that. And to me, that's what Christmas is about, just giving back to people that may not have what we do.
This show covers so many different styles, you know, because we're playing some Latin grooves, we're playing some blues, you know, we're playing like a Newfie jig, you know, and we're playing traditional Christmas music. So it's very challenging as a percussionist drummer, you know, to kind of cover all that stuff. Yeah, so it's been great for me. I've loved it. Yeah.
Well, this year is although an old experience, it's a new experience because these gentlemen that I am playing with in the band right now are all dear old friends that I have played so much with every one of them that it was like coming home, and a real full circle to come back to these guys. And then my friend Samantha King being on this, I produced an album for her 20 years ago when she was 15 years old. So that's come full circle too, from a little teenager to there she's working with us and hanging in with the boys, you know, she's great.
So we met in a band 41 years ago. It was a band that was formed in Calgary by an agent, and they'd been, her and her sisters sang together for years, and then they had put together, needed a new core band, so an agent put us together, and then we met, and then we worked together for a couple years, and then I couldn't leave it alone anymore, so told her how I felt, and then we've been together ever since.
First, I'm a grandpa. Second, I'm a dad. And most people that ask me that question, I say I'm a musician. And it kind of encompasses the fact that I'm a producer and a saxophone player and a guitar player and a singer. But it's what makes up a producer, is understanding the elements that bring music together. So I kind of feel blessed that I'm certainly not the best saxophone player or the best guitar player, but I know what to tell a saxophone player, and I know how to talk to a guitar player, and I know how to relate to singers. So all of those things, I think, make up my producer chops.
Professionally, though, it's pretty much been bass. From the time I came out west here, when I was 19, and pawned my guitar because I went down to the union office and they said, well, we have lots of guitar players in the city right now looking for work, but we're in need of singing bass players. I went, great, I'll be right back. Went down to Mother's Music and got a bass. But yeah, and that's what I've been doing ever since, for sure, mostly.
That would be the Huron Carole. And I don't know where it would be. I mean, it could be that. You know what comes to mind? They put something for a keyboard stand because we didn't have a proper keyboard stand, and so it's a case. There is a case in there. That comes to mind. And what is that? Like 20 years ago? More than that. Well, you know, get carbon dated, I suppose.
I remember this. I can't remember where we were, but it was definitely a rap party. And I don't know if we were East Coast or West Coast. And I remember what that is. That's a jock strap that you guys decorated up with the Huron Carole logo. I think I still have it. And then all the girls put lipstick on and passed it around and put lipstick marks all over it. And then presented it to me in front of a room full of people, which was great. And I think I still have it.
96.
That was 96, eh? Yeah. I probably was more worried about things than I should have been, you know, worried about, you know, getting this right. But it was a pretty high profile thing. So I probably am a little more freaked out there than I should be, you know. It takes a while to get comfortable in your own skin and trust your own talent and why people brought you in, on, you know, to the table. Because if you got things to bring, they wouldn't bring you if you weren't able to deliver, so. I still have the same guitar. I'm playing it today on this tour, so yeah.
You know, the first time I worked with Tom Jackson was 26 years ago, you know, roughly. And it was a great eye-opening experience for me. I was quite young and you know, I treasured that time. And it's great to be back working with Tom. And all these musicians in the band are very good friends of mine. And over the years, we've worked a lot together, and they've made me a better player. They've made me a better person, you know.
I had never really shared it with anybody, that I did go through a hard time, and especially, you know, there were a couple weeks in there that, you know, I probably should have gotten some help, and I didn't. But at the same time, somewhere inside of me, I found this strength to know that, you know, a year from now things could be completely different. And I'm so thankful I held on, because it's amazing to be here, and I've always wanted to be part of the Huron Carole, and just to be surrounded by such great people and to do what I really love to do, which is make music.
And it's really cool to be back with everybody again, because this is an old family that we never broke up. We just haven't been together for a while, and it's just like, it's like we never left. It's very bizarre. Yeah, very cool.
May not.
Okay, well, it's an honor to hang out with the guys, you know, and of course to be part of this event anyway. And we've been a part of it off and on for many years, you know, so we go back. But it's great to get the old gang together and, you know, flip the switch and see what happens. And Tom McKillop is great.
Well, hello. And welcome to my lodge. Welcome to the Huron Carole, Angels Without Wings. Actually, I guess we're in your lodge. But we couldn't be there in your lodge if it wasn't for our national sponsor. This is Canada Life.
Hello, bonjour, bonjour. Thank you for joining me for this special performance of Tom Jackson's The Huron Carole. Today I'm located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, the original lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect the treaties that were made on these territories. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we dedicate ourselves to move forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. Tom's inspirational messages and songs of hope have warmed Canadian hearts for many years. He does this out of a passion to raise awareness of issues like poverty and homelessness, and to help support important community agencies. But more than that, these concerts have helped to make a difference, raising money for local organizations that help those in need in the communities where we work and live. I'm proud that Canada Life has supported the Huron Carole since it began in Winnipeg decades ago. Today we're proud to be the show's national sponsor. And while we can't enjoy it together in person, the pandemic has created a silver lining. A virtual Huron Carole allows all Canada Life employees, plus our friends and families, to enjoy this special event, no matter where we live. Consider it our small gift to you this holiday season. There's one more gift I would like to tell you about. Canada Life has made a $10,000 gift to the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation to help advance the path towards reconciliation with our Indigenous communities. This gift is going to the Nami Kwenimak, the I Remember Them Community Support Fund. The fund helps promote healing and remembrance related to residential schools. As the Honourable Murray Sinclair reminds us, reconciliation is not an act of forgiving past wrongs. It's a process to help us move forward together. I believe that before we can truly be allies, we first need to listen and learn from Indigenous peoples who faced and continue to face injustice in Canada. And then, it's only by working together through concrete actions that we'll build a better path forward. I hope you'll join me and Canada Life in helping to move reconciliation forward. I also hope you have a restful holiday season and can spend some time safely connecting with families and friends. Thank you, miigwech. And now I'll hand things back over to Tom. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, my friend. I am honored to express our gratitude to Canada Life and to your community investment team. It feels like yesterday, not 3 decades, when we started it all from our home base in Winnipeg. The Huron Carole concert series has had enormous success from people like you, promoting, attending, donating, and now watching on your favorite screen. That said, it's Christmas. It's time for angels, songs, and celebration. There will never be another Christmas like this one. We need to have the courage to reach for and grab the star, the light, and hold on with all our might. The star is the truth, and the gift is reconciliation. The question is, what will we give our children? It's a time for reflection and reverence and defiance against the sounds of silence. It's a time to embrace compassion, empathy, hope, faith, and love. Not just the emotions, but the verbs. Christmas is a verb. Let's hear from the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation.
Bonjour, I am Stephanie Scott, Executive Director of the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation. I was born and raised in Winnipeg. My mother is from Roseau River Anishinaabe First Nation Treaty 1 territory. I am an intergenerational and 60 Scoop survivor. I'd like to thank Canada Life and Tom Jackson for their work and support of the Huron Carole, and for the invitation to share more about the work we do here at the NCTR. Throughout this past year, in the wake of continued discoveries of unmarked graves at former residential schools, many of us have been awash with tremendous emotion and heartache, even reliving painful memories. At the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation, we are dedicated to uncovering and preserving the truths of what happened at residential schools and giving strength to the voices of those affected and those who are lost. We work to honor survivors, their families, and communities through initiatives such as the Namaquainamak Community Fund, which provides support to these communities to commemorate, memorialize, and heal from residential school experiences. This fund provides grants of up to $10,000 for memorial activities across the country, ranging from making quilts for survivors, hosting ceremonial activities like feasts or community-led healing gatherings, to installing commemorative markers like healing gardens or murals and the maintenance of burial sites. This important work helps cultivate paths of healing for our survivor communities. All applications are reviewed by the Grants Committee, composed of Indigenous elders and survivors from across Canada. So far, we have been able to offer 16 grants to support projects by community groups across the country, like the project put forth by the Assiniboia Residential School Legacy Group, which is composed of survivors, intergenerational survivors, and non-Indigenous community members. They are committed to the preservation and commemoration of the Assiniboia Residential School. As part of the commemorative site, they will install a fire bowl made from bricks, each bearing the name of one of the 768 students who attended the school. Encircled by benches, this fire bowl will be at the center of a pathway of remembrance and reflection. A series of arrowhead-shaped commemorative markers will point the way back to the First Nations from which the students were sent. Nearby, a path through prairie grasses will take visitors past information panels about the history of the school. Thank you to donors and supporters of the Namaquainamak Community Fund. Projects like these ensure that the memories and stories of those impacted by residential schools will live on. We anticipate receiving many more funding applications to support survivors, their families, and communities as we continue our journey of healing together. Commemoration is specifically mentioned in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's 79th Call to Action, which signals the importance of weaving Indigenous history, heritage, values, and practices into Canada's public memory. Donors' support is integral to our ability to continue fostering reconciliation and healing, and we look forward to sharing with you the impact of the generous gift announced by Paul earlier. We are extremely grateful for support of all levels provided by individuals and organizations like Canada Life. Miigwech. I invite our viewers to join us in our efforts to support the healing process in our survivor communities by making your gift to the Namaquainamak Community Fund. On May 27th, Chief Roseanne Casimir of the Tecumseh First Nation confirmed the remains of 215 children found in unmarked graves on the former site of the Kamloops Indian Residential School. This was a triggering experience for survivors and their families. For many Canadians and people around the globe, the discovery came as a complete shock, but it also ignited a change in mindset for many, and since then, we have seen an outpouring of support. However, a great deal of work remains, and your support will make a real difference. Our work to preserve the truth about residential schools empowers those voices who were lost or quieted, to embolden their communities who will shape future generations, and to invite all Canadians to take part in the journey towards reconciliation. Miigwech for listening, and we wish everyone a happy holiday season and a healthy and happy new year.
That was a great message. You read any good books lately? There's a lot of them out there, you know. I mean, Got one here. This one's about peace, love, hope. And then, of course, there's that good book. I often read a book enough times, or at least the story in the book, that I can't forget it. See if you remember this one. It came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And all went to be taxed, everyone into their own city. And Joseph also went out from the town of Nazareth in Galilee into Judea and unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son. Kind of makes you want to sing, doesn't it? Let's go do that.
Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible say, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. While shepherds watch their flocks by night, they see a bright new shining star. And then they hear a choir sing, and the music seemed to come from afar. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new king's born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Now Joseph and his wife Mary, they come to Bethlehem that night. They find no place to born the child, not a single room was in sight. And by they find a little nook in a stable all forlorn. And in a manger cold and dark, Mary's boy child was born. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new king's born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Because of Christmas Day. So when I was a young man, I used to walk around studying the cracks in the sidewalks. I had my head down. And my mom came to me one time and she said, you know what, son? If you don't lift your head, you're never going to see the stars. A lot of people, when they get depressed or challenged, that's what they do. They disappear within themselves. So we have to be brave and become
people who speak become visible again. Because if you do, you'll see those stars. And you'll hear the songs. You will. You'll hear them loud and clear. And at the end of the day, you have to be brave, because if you are, people will hear you. People will help you. And you always recall those moments. Trust me, I know that. You always recall those moments, and something more important happens then. Now you start looking back. You look behind you to see if somebody needs your help. Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb, do you see what I see? A star, dancing in the night, with a tail as big as a kite, with a tail as big as a kite. Said the little lamb to the shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? Ringing through the night, shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? A song, high above the trees, with a voice as big as the sea, with a voice as big as the sea. Said the shepherd boy to the mighty king, do you know what I know? In your palace warm, mighty king, do you know what I know? A child shivers in the cold. Should we bring him silver and gold? Should we bring him silver and gold? Said the king to the people everywhere, listen to what I say. Pray for peace, people everywhere. Listen to what I say. A child sleeping in the night, he will bring us goodness and light. He will bring us goodness and light. Yes, he will. Do you hear what I hear? See what I see. Do you hear what I hear? See what I see. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born upon this day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
In Bethlehem and Jewry this blessed babe was born, and laid within a manger upon this blessed morn, to which his mother Mary did nothing take in scorn, for tidings of comfort and joy. From God our heavenly Father this blessed angel came, and unto certain shepherds brought tidings of the same, how that in Bethlehem was born the Son of God by name, for tidings of comfort and joy, for tidings of comfort and joy. Hey ho, nobody won't eat nor drink nor might have a none, yet will I be married. Hey ho, nobody home. Hey ho, nobody home. Hey ho, nobody home. Soul cake. These goodness is a soul cake. An apple, a pear, a plum, a cherry. Any good thing to make us all merry. One for Peter, two for Paul, three for him who made us all. God bless the master of this house and the mistress also, and all the little children that around your table grow, the cattle in your stable, the dog by your front door, and all that dwell within your gates wish you 10 times more. Soul cake, please goodness a soul cake, an apple, a pear, a plum, a cherry, any good thing to make us all merry. One for Peter, two for Paul, three for him who made us all. Go down into the cellar and see what you can find. The barrels are not empty, we hope you will be kind. We hope you will be kind with your apples and your pears. Will come no more a soul until this time next year. Whoop! Soul cake, please goodness a soul cake, an apple, a pear, a plum, a cherry, any good thing to make us all merry. One for Peter, two for Paul, three for him who made us all. The streets are very dirty, my shoes are very thin. I have a little pocket to put a penny in. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. And if you haven't got a halfpenny, then God bless you. Soul cake, please goodness a soul cake, an apple, a pear, a plum, a cherry, any good thing to make us all merry. One for me, two for Paul, three for him who made us all. Soul cake, please goodness a soul cake, an apple, a pear, a plum, a cherry, any good thing to make us all merry. One for Peter, two for Paul, three for him who made us all, three for him who made us all, three for him who made us all.
I think I want to tell you a story. You ever heard of No Man's Land? Well, in 1918, the year of the Great War, on Christmas Eve, there was a point where the Germans had quieted their guns and that the Allies had quieted their guns. And all of a sudden, the soul angel rang a bell from one of the towns. And the Germans started to sing. And then the Allies started to sing. And they came out of their trenches. And they met in the middle of this place, which is now known as No Man's Land.
heard the bells on Christmas Day, that old familiar carols play, wild and sweet, words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to all. I thought of how, as the day had come, the belfry of all Christendom had rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to all. And in despair, I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, where hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Then I heard the bells ring loud and deep. God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. And the wrong shall fail, and the right prevail, for peace on earth, goodwill to all. So the next time we see the angel, no wings, he's an engineer on the holiday train. Cargo is on the track. I said the freight train's God loves cargo. The holiday train is here, bringing good cheer once again. Oh, the mystery train coming down the track on a cold winter's night, and we won't turn back, bringing peace on earth, goodwill towards men. The holiday train is here, bringing good cheer once again. We'll be loading up the cars with children's dreams, a bright shining star and some candy canes, a gingerbread man, angels on a tree. The holiday train is here, bringing good cheer once. The freight train's God loves cargo. All of his cargo is on the track. I said the freight train's God loves cargo. The holiday train is here, bringing good cheer once again. All aboard! Mystery train coming down the track on a cold winter's night, and we won't turn back, bringing peace on earth, goodwill towards men. The holiday train is here, bringing good cheer once. Freight trains, God loves cargo. All of his cargo is on the track. The freight trains, God loves cargo. The holiday train is here, bringing good cheer once again. Oh, the holiday train is here, bringing good cheer once again. So even in the darkness
there are glimmers of hope. There's a spark. There's the sound of angels' wings. There's a baby crying. Even in the darkness, there are sparks of hope. In a side street sanctuary, the homeless gather round, whispering tales of angels' wings above the hallowed ground. The tremor of a heartbeat, a newborn baby cries, and in the eastern heavens, a new star is on the rise. Hallelujah, all God's children are gonna sing. Yes, hallelujah, pray for peace and a newborn king. A hobo watched as strangers came, heeding to the call. Hearing that a Prince of Peace was born beneath a star. Guided to this alley, the strangers stood in awe, humbled by a homeless child who had the face of God. Hallelujah, all God's children are gonna sing. Yes, hallelujah, pray for peace and a newborn king. Mother holds him to her breast, and the fearful kneel in praise. No gold, myrrh, or frankincense, no warmth this Christmas day. But the hobo hands his tattered scarf to wrap around the babe, knowing in his heart of hearts the gift was that he gave. Yeah. Hallelujah, all God's children are gonna sing. Yes, hallelujah, pray for peace and a newborn king. Hallelujah, all God's children are gonna sing. Yes, hallelujah, pray for peace and a newborn king. Hallelujah, all God's children are gonna sing. Yes, hallelujah, pray for peace and a newborn king. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. Now those days are gone. I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind and opened up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around.
feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? Now my life has changed in oh so many ways. My independence seemed to vanish in the haze. Every now and then I feel so insecure. I know that I just need like I've never done before. Oh, help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around. Oh, help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help? When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now those days are gone,
And I'm not so self-assured.
now I find I've changed my mind and open up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate your being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please help me? Help me. Just close your eyes and dream. Mary and Joseph together alone. Under a star, a child is born. And choirs sang out for thousands of years. Silent night for the world to hear. On the dawn came Christmas Day. The angels withdrew, and the star fades away. But the soul angel stayed, and he's still here today. And it helps them to sleep when the soul angel plays. Yes, it helps them to sleep when the soul angel plays. Close your eyes, and what do you see? A sable, an angel, a prince of peace, or a visions of family on Christmas Eve. Children all around, gifts under the tree. Just close your eyes and dream. I am the old man that lives down the lane, singing for pennies that help ease the pain for those who might fall on a cold winter's night. I go in search where the homeless will hide. I sing of a love that's hard to ignore, singing for pennies for the rich and the poor. Some are dismayed and some are afraid, but it helps them to sleep when the soul angel plays. Yes, it helps them to sleep when the soul angel plays. Close your eyes and what do you see? A stable, an angel, a prince of peace, or visions of family on Christmas Eve. Children all around, gifts under the tree. Just close your eyes and dream. Mary and Joseph, together alone. Under a star, the child was born. Choirs sang out for thousands of years. Silent night for the world to hear. That was awesome. You guys are awesome. But you know what?
What?
I forgot something.
What?
I have to go back to my dressing room, and I'll be back in a second. Can you?
Well, we're in the middle of a show.
I know. Can you just manage it, please?
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, whatever.
Please. I'll be right back.
See ya.
Right back.
Bye.
Right back.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay.
What was I going to do? Look at all these gifts. Huron Carole scarf. Huron Carole. A dream catcher bag. Look at all of this stuff. Look, there's even a mask. Huron Carole, have you done your Christmas shopping yet? I bet you haven't. I was supposed to wear the blue jacket. So I'm gonna go and change. You do Christmas shopping.
I'm going to put Phil to work right now.
Okay, I got one.
You got one you can do?
I got one.
Just tell us the key. We can follow anything.
E flat and F.
You sure about the first one?
I can do a G.
It's a horn key, Tom.
Okay, that's enough. Okay.
Merry Christmas, baby. You sure do treat me right. Merry Christmas, baby. You sure do treat me right. I feel like I'm a living in paradise. music on the radio. Oh, yeah. Hey, I feel real good tonight. Cause I got music on the radio. You know I want to kiss you underneath the mistletoe. Santa came down the chimney 3:30 with lots of presents for my baby and me. Merry Christmas, baby. You sure to treat me right. You know I feel like I'm living in paradise. Chimney 3:30 with lots of nice little presents for my baby and me. Merry Christmas, baby. You should treat me right. Yes, I feel like I'm living in paradise. Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Santa's been checking all around the world. Wants to know what's going on with every single boy and girl. Great gosh almighty, much to my surprise, everybody's been naughty, everybody's been nice. Santa likes to boogie, Santa likes to dance, Santa likes to rock and likes to go real fast. Santa's gonna ride in a boogie boogie choo-choo train. Santa's got the elves working overtime. He's double the production on the toy production line. Says there's too much stuff here to carry in his sleigh. To find a better plan, to make a better way. Got the toys for the boys and they're all over the place. Got them stacked to the sheet and got to stick it in your face. Santa Claus is riding in a boogie choo-choo train. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming in a boogie choo-choo train. Got the toys for the boys and they're all over the place. Got them stacked to the sheet and got to stick it in your face. Santa Claus is coming in a boogie choo-choo train. Let's go. Said, no, wait a minute, what about me? Don't leave me sitting all alone at home on Christmas Eve. Santa said, no, wait, man, we gotta have your nose to show us all the way, to show us where to go. We got Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. We're all gonna ride in a boogie choo-choo train. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming in a boogie choo-choo train. Got the toys for the boys and they're all over the place. Got them stacked to the
see them, gotta stick him in the face. Santa Claus is coming in a boogie boogie choo-choo train. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming in a boogie boogie choo-choo train. Got the toys for the boys and they're all over the place. Got them stacked to the sheet and gotta stick him in the face. Santa Claus is coming in a boogie boogie choo-choo train. Santa Claus is coming in a boogie boogie choo-choo train.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. The thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine. Oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine. Oh, night. Oh, night divine. Oh. The thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine. Oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine. Oh, night. Oh, night divine.
Bells will be ringing, the glad, glad news. Oh, what a Christmas to have the blues. My baby's gone, and I have no friends to bring me greetings once again. choirs will be singing Silent Night, Christmas carols by candlelight. Please come home for Christmas. Please come home for Christmas. If not for Christmas, by New Year's night. Friends and relations send salutations as sure as the stars shine above. 'Cause this is Christmas, Christmas, my dear, the time of year to be with the one you love. So won't you tell me you'll evermore, Christmas and New Year will find you home, and there'll be no sorrow, no grief or pain, and I'll be happy, happy once again. Happy, happy once again.
Well, this is what I forgot. I was supposed to wear this for the whole show. So, I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't mean a thing, dear, if you're not here with me. That's when those blue snowflakes start falling. That's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing all right with your Christmas of light, but I'll see the lights of a distant city. Seems I left it so long ago. Lately my feet are getting cold and weary, and now my heart is leading me back home. Back to the old familiar faces in my hometown. Friends and family gathered round. Candle in the window, frost on the pane. I want those days again. I miss the wind in the chimney and the stars in the sky. Try to stay awake to see if reindeer fly. Now I've made it on my own, and I'll be home this Christmas. If I close my eyes, I see decorations, angels on top of the Christmas tree. She opens her arms like an invitation, bringing me back to my family. Back to the old familiar faces in my hometown. Friends and family gathered round. Candle in the window, frost on the pane. I want those days again. I miss the wind in the chimney and the stars in the sky. Try to stay awake to see if reindeer fly. And now I've made it on my own, and I'll be home this Christmas. Yes, I will. Mama's been keeping the front door open, waiting patiently. Love is the one thing that keeps me going, bringing me back to my family. Back to the old familiar faces in my hometown. Friends and family gathered round. Candle in the window, frost on the pane. I want those days again. I miss the wind in the chimney and the stars in the sky. Try to stay awake to see if reindeer fly. And now I've made it on my own, and I'll be home this Christmas. Was in the moon of wintertime, when all the birds had fled, that mighty Gitche Manitou sent angel choirs instead. Before their light the stars grew dim, and wandering hunters heard the hymn. Jesus, your King is born. Jesus is born. In excelsis Gloria. Within a lodge of broken bark, the tender babe was found. A ragged robe of rabbit skin enwrapped his beauty round. And as the hunter braves through night, the angel song rang loud and high. Jesus, your King is born. Jesus is born. In excelsis Gloria. The earliest moon of wintertime is not so round and fair as was the ring of glory upon that helpless infant there. The chiefs from far before him knelt with gifts of fox and beaver bell. Jesus, your King is born. Jesus is born. In excelsis Gloria. O children of the forest free, O sons of Manitou, that holy child of earth and heaven is born today for you. Come kneel before the radiant boy who brings you beauty, peace, and joy. Jesus, your King is born. Jesus is born. In excelsis Gloria. Silent night, holy night, all is calm and all is bright round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and light, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds wait at the sun. Glory streams from heaven above. Heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, all is calm and all is bright round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild,